We begin this hour with a deeper divide between the U.S. and Iran. The U.S. Treasury Department now sanctioning Iran's entire shipping network, and the Trump administration is unveiling an unusual reward program targeting that country's military. RT correspondent Sayeh Tavangar has been following the story. She's joining us live from the newsroom with the latest developments here. Sayeh?
That's right. The Trump administration just placed new sanctions on what they're calling an Iranian oil for terror exporting network. Now, in a briefing, Brian Hook, who is the U.S. Special Representative for Iran, said the U.S. is offering millions in rewards for information that helps to disrupt the financial operation of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard and Quds Force.
Today, the United States government is intensifying our maximum pressure campaign against the Islamic Republic of Iran. First, we are announcing a reward of up to $15 million for any person who helps us disrupt the financial operations of Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps and Quds Force. If you look at the history of this, Iran never comes back to the negotiating table without diplomatic pressure, diplomatic isolation, economic pressure, or the threat of military force. That's just been the history of it. And so we will continue, as we have today, to deny the regime revenue, to drive up the costs of its malign behavior. And we think that this creates the right atmosphere that will lead eventually to talks.
Now, keep in mind, this is just one day after the Trump administration also slapped sanctions on Iran's National Space Agency for ballistic missile development. So these new sanctions could well end efforts by French President Emmanuel Macron to provide Tehran with sanctions relief and keep Iran from pulling out of the 2050 nuclear accord. But this administration seems to think that the only way to lead negotiations with Iran is the maximum pressure campaign. That way they can get Iran to change their behavior and return to the table, but to negotiate a new deal. Now, this latest news also follows Iranian President Rouhani's announcement yesterday for European nations to come up with a solution for Iran to sell its oil abroad.
And now, Sayeh, there has been reports of the U.S. offering some sort of cash to the captain of this oil tanker, Grace 1. Can you fill us in there?
Yes, it appears that 4 days before the U.S. imposed sanctions on the Iranian tanker. Now, that's the same tanker suspected of shipping oil to Syria. The vessel captain received an unusual email from the State Department. Now, according to the Financial Times, which the State Department has confirmed, the email said, "This is Brian Hook. I work for the Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and serve as the U.S. representative for Iran. I am writing with good news." Now, the good news was that the Trump administration was offering the captain of the vessel several $1 million to pilot the ship to a country that would impound the vessel on behalf of the U.S. Now, in response to this, Javad Zarif, Iran's foreign minister, tweeted, "Having failed at piracy, the U.S. resorts to outright blackmail. Deliver us Iran's oil and receive several $1 million or be sanctioned yourself." Now, this astonishing outreach by such a high-ranking U.S. official was not an isolated case, Manila. There are multiple reports that the State Department has intimidated dozens of captains to stop working with Iran, and for everyone to know that working with Iran comes at a very heavy price. Manila.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.